I changed it in my story.
Okay.
Tell Fox that didn't want to be.
Welcome back to Kingston, Ontario and the 2025 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championships here at Slush Puppie Place. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Shanahan. We are wrapping up day 3 with the game tonight between Canada and Australia. And this is the first time, Shanny, I'm pretty sure that Canada has ever had a losing record at the IIJL World Juniors because they're 0-1, having lost to the U.S. yesterday. They have lost before in this event to the U.S. in 2023, but they'd never lost their first game of a tournament.
Yeah, they're really going to rectify that, or want to rectify that today, and they're going to come out strong. And I don't know if they're going to show much mercy out there, really.
No, and Todd Wilfon, their coach, said, somebody was saying, oh, we really like the commentary, and he said, I don't know if I do. I went on earlier and I heard them saying that we had a discipline problem, that the Canadian coaches were. I said, no, we didn't say that. We said the team needed some more discipline. And that's fair, and he was joking. He gave me a wink. Yeah. But we're going to take a look at our players to watch in this game, and we're going to start with the player that. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you know what? He had a great game yesterday against Scotland. Got 3 goals, a defender, but he's got good speed. He's strong and seems to have a pretty good finish too. We were absolutely thrilled with it. I think he got 1 short-handed breakaway goal, another breakaway goal. This is the one. That's not his goal there, but he got it. But anyhow, he got 3 goals, including 1 power play goal late in the game. That he really just a long shot to cement that player of the game.
That's the one right there.
That's the power play goal.
And that's because Orlando Kernigan was on the bench. He got a little dinged up playing for the Delta Islanders recently, so he was just taking a break from that for that one. And Longstaff steps in on the front end. And
we both love when a defensive player gets out and gets to be a bit of a hero.
We're not big scorers. So
that's right.
We like to see those guys do well. Yeah. On the other side, a big effort for Alexander Delaronde.
Yeah, you know, he was the guy who sort of, for the most part, got Canada back in that game. He had 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points on 12 goals, and he is just big and strong, and when he wants to make his way to the net, he is very hard to stop. So yeah, I was really impressed with him, and yeah, he led Canada's comeback for the most part. And, even though the U.S. had a very strong fourth quarter to pull away, it was a much closer game than that final 18-12 score.
And Alexander Delaronde is playing Junior B lacrosse this year. His twin brother Seth is playing Junior A in the BCJLL. I would be shocked if Alexander doesn't take a step up. He's so big and strong. He's skilled. He's got it all.
You get those 2 guys on the same team too.
Yeah, we've seen them together at World Juniors, and they were tremendous together.
Oh yeah,
when they were youngsters.
And I remember a set of big twins about 30 years ago that were really good too. Gate brothers, I think they were called.
They weren't as big as the Delarondes, though.
No, they were big.
Maybe better, though.
Big. Yeah, they were
Maybe, right? Yeah. Paul and Gary pretty good as well. It is Christmas in July here at the Slush Puppie Place in Kingston. We've got Canada and Australia, the first time for Canada ever playing in the World Juniors on Canada Day. The fireworks are coming later. Let's see what the fireworks are on the floor as Canada and Australia meet. Canada delay.
Well, it looks like Canada wants to come on late here.
Yeah.
Sometimes
fashionably late.
That's a bit of a power move, I think.
Well, it gives up a power play if you don't get there in time.
Yeah.
And the buzzer is going, which I think is to indicate get yourselves out here.
And I guarantee they won't come walking on the floor.
Yeah, no, there they come. Led out of their change room tunnel by Cohen Mahar Robbins. I'm Steven Stamp. He is Brian Shanahan. We are thrilled to be here. This is game 5 of the week.
It looks like Cameron Greenlee, I think, is starting here.
He is not. It is Colton Ferguson. Cameron Greenlee has the red helmet, very similar
that's
shade.
That's my bad eyesight. I looked at the number 33 and thought it said 35.
I should have circled it for you once I found out from head coach Todd Wilfong.
But the other goal, Greenlee is the second goalie dressed. So as you correctly said yesterday when I said they should be changing goalies at third.
Yeah.
Only 2 of them are on the bench.
You only get to dress the 2, so they would have, I think. So Ty Peterson is scratched for Canada, who was the starter yesterday. Tyler Jones, Kieran Noppen, and Brady Weaselfat also out today. Jason Feist draws back in, as does Cody Martin. I thought he was in. Brody Strong. There's a bunch of players back in. For Australia, the starting goaltender is Lucas Dishon. He is back in after playing game 1 for them. This is their 3rd game in 3 days. I was talking to manager Rick Benedurks as we get underway earlier today, and I said 3 games in 3 days. It's a bit of a grind for them, right? And he said they love it. They are having a blast.
Oh, that's good, because that has got to be tough, especially your 3rd game in 3 days and you're playing Team Canada in a bad mood.
That shot stopped. Neely's didn't get through. It was turned aside by a defender. Sheen gets it back. Here's Neely feeding it through to Mason Myers. And man, Neely had 6 assists yesterday. He's got 1 30 seconds into this.
And this could be a replay of any one of his, how many goals did he get yesterday? 4 goals. Myers had 4 goals, and most of them were this pick and roll variety. And, if Australia doesn't do something, they're going to just pick them apart on this 2-man game, because we did see a bit of weakness on that side, especially the first game we saw U.S. playing Australia. A few times guys walked in a little bit too easy, but running a good 2-man pick.
And Cornette came away with the ball off the face-off there, but he does get stripped eventually. You could see him. You could pretty much see his eyes from up here, trying to find where he was going to pass that ball. Penalty coming to the Australians, and a nice hustle by Colton Ferguson getting over Cody Merritt. We were talking to last night. We had a chance to meet a lot of these kids, and Cody Merritt with a rip.
Yep, 6-on-5, and they really didn't even really get set up. It's just got the extra man. The ball comes across, and Merritt decides, I've got enough room to step in and take that shot. Yes, nice young man. We chatted with him for quite a while last night at the restaurant. I ran into him in the hotel today as well. One of the few Ontario boys on this team. I think he told me he was from Acton? I can't remember. Played a little bit for Halton Hills.
We could look it up on the IIJL.org site and see on the Canadian roster where he is from. You can see where everyone is from, where they play. And who is it you're talking about?
Cody Merritt.
Cody Merritt just scored 55. He is from Acton, Ontario. Nice memory.
Got that
Plays
right.
for the Cambridge Highlanders. Anthony Green with the ball here. Tosses over to Luke Spivey. See if he heads to his spot. Oh, nice pass to the cutter. And Cornette is immediately watched by Foot. Boy, this is not a Canadian team looking like a club that had a bad day yesterday and is facing a foe they're highly expected to beat. This is a team that looks like they are facing their biggest foe of their lives.
Yeah.
They are coming out with intensity. They strip it there. Nice job by Strong. That was almost a goal, though. Nice effort.
That was a nice opportunity with Daniel Gutneck.
But the save from Ferguson. And I'll tell you, Colton Ferguson, I'm sure he didn't love being the guy who had to sit the first game, but that happens when you've got a 3-goalie system and it's going to rotate from day one. But he, after the game, he was out early doing things. After the game, when everyone else had gone to the locker room, he was out on the floor, just in his civvies. The rip there. There we go. On the board now is Austin Sheen. We pumped him up yesterday. He had a bit of a quiet game, but that's a nice rip.
Yeah, we pumped him up big time. Or you pumped him up big time. No, but yes, he had a quiet game was an understatement. Just 1 assist yesterday when we talked about the unbelievable stats he had in the Rocky Mountain League Junior B. But couldn't get anything going yesterday. But overall, You know, yesterday, Canada, a lot of Canadians didn't have their best games.
Yeah, Sheen, who's led his Tier 2, Junior B Tier 2 league in scoring the last 3 years, including last year in 2024, had 69 goals. The next highest scorer in the league had 69 points.
And I'm being funny when I said you pumped him up. We both felt like, okay, we're going to see some big numbers from this guy.
That was a great shot.
I mean, for the most part, though, I don't think he was on the #1 power play either.
Well, Canada didn't get that many power plays.
No,
they gave up a lot.
Yeah.
Spivey has it here. Communication amongst the Canadians. You really can't tell the intensity of this club, except they absolutely lose their men in the middle. That was Olunyedeka Miracle, and my apologies to the Miracle family, as we were calling him Anya Dagoa. We'll get to that in a second, because here comes Neely, passes it across. Nice movement, Sheen, back to back. That's a great last pass from Adrian Van Tassel.
Yeah, Van Tassel makes a smart play. Like a lot of players would come down that side, say, I pretty much have a breakaway. I'm going to shoot, even though I'm on a bad angle, wrong side. He didn't even think about it. He saw the third man coming in, and it was Sheen. So maybe Sheen is making up today for how he struggled yesterday.
Maybe he is. Those are pretty good-looking shots.
Well, I can tell you, when Canada, as good as Canada expects to be in these tournaments, they're not going to want to just win today. They're going to want to.
That's going to be another goal as Dustin Morton goes in, gets the shot, which actually bounces off of the post and off the back of Lucas Dishon. And it's 5-0 Canada in just over 3 minutes.
That one was a bit of a tough break for Dishon. He, as you said, it goes off him, off the post, and in the net.
So as I was saying, Anya Dagoa Miracle played for the Haudenosaunee a few years ago, and we were excited. I was thinking, wow, Anya Dagoa is back. It was actually his younger brother. It wasn't him, it's his brother. Olunyedeka came over to me at the gate as I was walking over to talk to the teams, talk to the coaches and that, and he said, hey, are you the announcer? I was like, yeah. And he said, so you're pronouncing my name as my brother's name. I was like, that's because I thought you were your brother. But thank you so much. So I appreciate him. Great kid, Olunyedeka. Thank you for being with us.
We praised him so much for,
how well he played in the
previous tournaments. Yeah.
So Olunyedeka going to establish his own name here at the IIJL.
He scored a couple goals.
He did.
Last night. Yeah,
Got feisty.
Yeah, he did.
Long outlet pass. What a catch by Myers. A great save by Lucas Dishon. You got to love that from the young goalie.
Yeah, and you want to see them. As much as this game is an important game for Canada to establish themselves, I don't think it's so much how many goals they score that's the most important thing. I am sure their coaches would love to see them hold Australia to just, less than a handful.
There's one from Spivey, well on his offside as it was getting a bit late in the shot clock. Gutnecht now is going to throw it across to Mortimer Underwood. He and Goldthorpe were staring each other down. That shot, trying to beat the buzzer, but Spivey gets flattened as it misses the net. Ball is rolling all the way down.
I was trying to figure out where it was. Yeah,
me too. This is Connor Materi. He's going to go over to Neely. We haven't seen Materi yet as he was sitting out yesterday. Sheen flips it across to Neely. Sheen now up at the top, but they're going to try and feed it through the middle. That one's tapped away by Anthony Green, but Neely gets it back.
Good stick by Green on that play.
He's impressed us here. Cody Merritt catches it and quickly behind the back. Diving dunk attempt. Oh, you had it. It was right there for Neely, but he couldn't quite reach out far enough. Fresh 30, though, after the nice hustle play by Materi to get it back. Now Anthony Green gets it, though, and he'll sprint up over center. Sees Myers coming for the forecheck. Alert pass. And here's a nice run for the Aussies. Just enough of a check by Jason Feist.
Yeah, Feist just bumped him as he was shooting because that was a pretty decent scoring opportunity.
That was Drinkall on the run. Spencer Drinkall couldn't quite get the shot on target. Here's Dustin Morton. Myers will take a little pick from Neely. Boy, we're used to seeing Myers shooting from about a foot away from the crease.
Yeah.
The farthest we've seen him shoot. Pretty hard, but it was blocked out front. That pass gets past Isaac Dishon. He'll put a little pressure on. It's going to be picked off by Austin Longstaff. Oh, it's too high. It's a great pickoff. We're thinking Here comes an assist that may rival the goals he scored. Didn't quite get there. There's going to be a penalty coming.
Yeah, hitting from behind. Yeah, a really good opportunity for Australia in that, and yeah, not a good pass by Longstaff.
Isaac Dishon goes to the box for 2 or less. And the way this Canadian club is coming out firing, my money's not firing, my money's on less. See if the power play can keep rolling.
I would think so too. Yeah, see, Dillaron and who's 16 out there?
Morden. That's Dustin Morden, yeah.
Are up there, and Merritt's the top. So yeah, she doesn't play their #1 power play.
Myers down on the crease. Goes up to Sam Neely.
We saw he was looking for the same thing. Yesterday we saw Dillaron hit Myers a number of times for almost empty net goals for Myers.
And Lucas Dishon is playing pretty deep, even as the shooters are lining up. You can see he's still got 1 foot back by the goal line. I wonder if that's partly because they were watching and seeing those backdoor quick sticks that Canada was using to victimize their opponents.
Well,
Hidden ball trick, it worked.
Yeah, worked on me.
But Myers missed it.
Almost a hold.
Neely's going to let one fly. Scores! Sam Neely has been the setup man, but he can score as well, and he shows you how right there.
And Jack Higgins jumping back to play goaltender, which we've seen him make a few nice saves. He took one side of the net, and Neely's still able to put it in the short side. Let's watch from this angle. Yeah, not a lot to shoot at. That's a great shot by Neely.
He did have a couple of goals yesterday
in
that game, but 6 assists.
6 assists, yeah.
He's looking to facilitate. He's such a good passer. That pass across will connect. Big pick from Kernigan. Spivey's going to drive underneath. Scores!
Oh, nice goal by
While
Spivey.
being checked by Strong, bounces it 5-hole.
Well, Spivey scored 3 goals against who'd they play yesterday? Yeah, 3 goals against Scotland. They scored a couple goals against the U.S. So he's got 5 goals coming into the game. This is his 6th. He has shown some good outside shooting. He's shown some good touch in close. Bad angle, but manages to bounce it between the legs of Ferguson.
Here comes the captain, Scott Lardon, fighting through a check. Nice job to battle that one off. He's going to leave it there for Neely. From Oro-Medonte, Ontario. It's a cool name. I like that town.
Do you know where that is?
I do.
Where?
It's just north of Toronto, is it not? Or is it north?
I'm not sure.
I felt like it was just north of Toronto, but I could be wrong. Here's Neely with the ball. That pass doesn't connect, but Dillaron will track it down. He's got to shoot it with 2 seconds left. Save by Dishon. Just grabs it before it's grabbed by the Canadian.
Dishon's got nobody to give it to. Oh, there we go.
So he plays in Aurelia, so it's it's in that area. Cottage country. Pass up to Morton. He'll spin and head up over center. Canada with a 6-1 lead. We're past midway point of the first quarter. This is IIJL World Juniors. Christmas in July on Canada Day. Dillaron. Nice pass to find Myers. Trying to hit Mahar Robbins. Didn't quite get through, but it is grabbed by Morden. They've got 7 left to shoot. They're not going to panic. They make that one last pass, and Dillaron, great move, but fires it off the crossbar. It will be a fresh 30. This is one of the fun things about this tournament. You see kids like this growing.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good player a couple years ago when he played. Hard rip there from the outside by Brody McLeod. It's going to be not over and back. That's a pretty nice save, and then a nice grab by Dillaron. Pass through to Neely. One hand, whoa! Tee that one up for the highlight reel. There's a penalty coming in, but that is irrelevant compared to this absolute beauty by Sam Neely.
Oh my gosh. You rarely see shots like this in the NLL. This is just a fantastic play. Behind his back, one hand. Oh my gosh. These are just ones where you think, I hope I can get this on net. Oh my gosh, that's a fantastic goal.
he has to have been practicing that. You don't just,
yeah.
right? So, but to pull that off, I mean, it's funny. You watch Chase Fraser score some spectacular goals. I was just talking to him the other day when he was playing for the Allegheny Arrows, and I was saying, it's pretty fun to see some of those goals. That's exciting stuff. And he said, yeah, you know, but he talked about during the playoffs how he practices those. They don't just come out of nowhere. And Sam Neely, holy cow, the audacity.
Yeah.
What a play.
Well, those are the ones you see them once in a while and say, what a great shot, what a great attempt that was.
Yeah.
And it's even better when they go in net.
Here's Neely again. What can he do this time? He's going to pass it to Myers.
Yeah.
That was in and out off the post,
I thought
not
that
into the net. I did too, but it was off the post. Here comes Jackson Close, the captain for Australia. Going to slow it down a little bit, leave it there for Spivey. Spivey picked up immediately by Goldthorpe. That's picked off and on the run now. Adrian Van Tassel saved by Deshaun and catches it. Outlet pass there to Alunia Deca Miracle. He's going to go for a run. Again, sorry to the Miracle family for mixing up the two lads, but boy, they are a couple of fine young lacrosse players. Here's Spivey. A little trouble handling the pass. He gets it though and ducks underneath Van Tassel. Pretty good slide help there. That was Josh Morgan jumping in on the defense. And Cody Martin taking off. Yeah, Cody Martin definitely played yesterday. He wasn't one of the guys coming in. He was Brody McLeod that came in because Martin, I remember, he had a good bunch of plays. And that's going to be a goal. No, it's not. I thought it was sneaking through Lucas Dishon, but it did not. And then he makes the short pass, which I think Xander Kamak might have thought, you could go somewhere else than me with being covered right here.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody open. Defensive work there by Carter Foote. It's just making it really difficult for the Aussies to get into the offensive zone. They've only got 10 on the shot clock. But they get a great chance, and Longstaff was going behind the back. Just popped out. Picked up by Green. He's going to run out of time. Still tried the dunk, and that was pretty nifty. He put it in. Save that highlight. Let's watch it when we have a second, because it was gorgeous.
That was impressive.
Definitely didn't count. And honestly, it could have been delay a game, but whatever. It was beautiful. Backdoor pass, great chance. Nice pass from Myers, usually the recipient of those.
We've seen that a couple times now. Myers finding Delaron returning the favor.
There's a finish right there by Connor Materi. And that is a lovely little passing play after the original shot.
Well, Canada is getting inside. They got cutters after cutters after cutters, and generally they're finding them. Materi doesn't have a lot of room. He's got about a second to make that play. And I'm not sure who made that pass, if it was Myers but it was a nice pass and nice finish.
Materi from Brooks, Alberta, one of several members of the Southern Alberta Chaos in the Rocky Mountain Junior League, who are playing on this Canadian squad here on Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to all who observe. There's Spivey. Pretty good two-man defense by Canada. Nice job switching off. Now, who's got no stick? Okay, it's Close. And he's just going to head to the bench for a change as the 30 is about to expire. Pass to Morton. Sprints by Mortimer Underwood. Will zip up into the offensive zone. Neely to Myers behind the back. Every time Neely touches the ball now, I'm just waiting to see what he's going to do.
Right, and you know Myers works so well off him.
That pass is going to go all the way down to Colton Ferguson. Remember to stick with us post-game as we will have the player of the game presentation and the anthem of the winning team. Oh, what a nice pass, and Myers gets one. There's another, that's an assist for Connor Materi, and he'll get over and be like, nice finish.
Yeah, Materi involved in the last two goals. Nice assist there. I was just expecting it to be Neely.
Yeah.
But Materi playing Neely's spot over the shoulder to Materi. Basically, that's your classic give and go. A true give and go.
It is. You've heard me
Yes.
complain about people calling it give and go.
I don't want to label it a give and go when
Yeah.
it's not a give and go.
Yeah, I'd have roasted you. I think we have a goalie water break as Lucas Dishon has gone over, and the officials are saying to everyone else, get away from the bench. When the goalie gets a water break, it's not supposed to be a timeout for the team.
Yeah.
But Wade Hammond may have snuck in a chance to talk to his players. I'll tell you one, he was telling me before the game, it's nice to look down the bench and see a full lineup. This is the first time they've had a really full bench coming over to North America for the World Juniors, and he's loving it. The game is growing in Australia. The Alan Lure box court in just outside of Melbourne is a huge factor that was finally completed. It was named recently,
great.
and they're playing. And Canada goes down every year for the Commonwealth Cup.
Is it? You might have said it, and I missed it. It's an outdoor box?
It's an outdoor box. Round the world attempt by Myers, stopped by Lucas Dishon. But yeah, it's a really nice facility. I haven't had a chance to get there in person. I did have.
I know you will.
Yeah, but that pass doesn't connect. But yeah, I had somebody on Lacrosse Link when we were doing that on YouTube, and talked about that. And I think I had Rod Marr was on. Here's Merritt to Myers. Myers sees Delaronde. Wow, the little drop. And that's just, what do you do?
Yeah.
If you're Lucas Dishon, you just hope he doesn't hit it.
Too easy. Delaronde he's got some great touch around the net. We talk about how big he is when he drives, but it also have to have that good finish. And this time Myers has been finding him a few times. The Australia defenders were keyed on Myers and whoever that other Canadian was on his side. They didn't even see Delaronde at all.
Delaronde with that power forward build, which everyone loves. If you can get the big, strong forward with skill, people love that. Here's Neely, another feed. And there's a stop on Sheen, but Sheen flashing into space for a great chance. He's going to get the ball back, fresh 30, and goes back over to Neely. You think of the Ryan Smiths and guys like that. I mean, Smith, who won a gold medal with Canada at the World Lacrosse Senior Men's Box Championship. And if you've got size and speed, size and skill and toughness, that's a great combo. I believe Ryan Smith's leading MSL in goal scoring at the moment. It was the last time I checked. Hard rip from Mahar Robbins. And there's a penalty coming. Interference call. That's going to be Mason Close.
Yeah, Stevens is on the bench holding his head. He took that shot.
Yeah.
Right in the face area.
That's Harley Stevens, the New Zealand player on this club. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
We're really excited to see him on the team, adding another nation from down under as part of this program. Just awesome to have him here. Delaronde will pass it back door. Myers actually missed, and he can't believe it. He's not used to missing from there. Neely feeds it down to Morton, who had to double clutch but got it. Off the post for Myers.
But you are right, Deshaun is staying in his net. Like, I think he's sacrificing the long shots to make sure he can, when the ball goes cross side to side, he can get there.
Pass to the near side. Delaronde keeps it moving. Neely will rip one. Nothing magical about that, but a lovely shot nonetheless. Dead overhand, as opposed to the one hand behind the back underhand from Sam Neely.
And I feel bad for Deshaun, because if he comes out high enough to really take away the angles of these shots, we're going back door.
Yeah.
But then there's always the danger. Now he's in the net. There's more for the shooters to shoot at, especially as Canada makes him go left and right and left and right. They're going to find some space.
It's interesting. I was watching last game Aiden Malone for the U.S. when he was in. Watching on a couple of plays, the way his arc from one side to the other, he kind of mirrors the arc of the crease, right? He's kind of going in that semicircle at the top and coming out to take. And Dishon almost seems to be going back as he's coming across, from one side to the other. Strip. Great hustle by Green, though, to get it back. And the 30 had been reset, but I don't know if it would have been Canada. I didn't feel like Canada had possession yet Oh, it's the end of the quarter. That's why he was
we
shooting.
go.
Never
Yep.
mind.
Yeah.
That was a good decision, Anthony Green. We're through 15 minutes of play. The score is 11-1 for Canada over Australia. Stay with us because we're going to have we've got a photo we want to share with you. Let's bring that up. And that's me in the Rebesky shirt. My
Oh.
sister and my mom with
Who's that guy with the long
Kingston
hair?
royalty,
Yes.
Rob Baker, the lead guitarist for the Tragically Hip, who are playing right now as we speak. We are on Tragically Hip Way at the Slush Puppie Center, which is where the Canadian Brier was held 5 years ago, and that's where that photo was taken. I was sitting down just below us and to the right, Shanny.
So he was here watching the Brier?
He came to watch the Brier. He was just hanging out. He was in the snack area, and we went over, and I just said, you probably get this all the time, especially here, but I'm a huge fan. Had a chat. Nicest guy.
Oh,
So
that's
friendly.
good.
Like, the way he looked in that picture, I think he was genuinely that happy to sit there and take a picture. He just seemed like super happy to be in a picture with us. I'm thinking, kind of the other way around, right?
Oh,
Like,
that's nice when
he's
you
Rob
meet your
Baker.
heroes and they're good guys.
Right? So Rob Baker, all the Tragically Hip heroes in town here, and very exciting to see him. And it has been all hip all the week,
Yep.
all the time. And one of the players from, I forget which team, whether it was the U.S. or Scotland, or somebody was saying, and do you guys have any pull with the music in the arena? I said, I don't. I have no control, but I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
I'm all hip.
Well,
Now, I haven't heard Last American Exit or the Werewolf song. I wouldn't mind hearing those, some of the early stuff.
Okay. Well, I think I mentioned to you, I went for lunch this afternoon with my wife in a nice patio, and it felt so good being in Kingston where the streets are closed, people are celebrating Canada Day. There was a live music in the restaurant I was in, playing Tragically Hip, among other songs. They weren't 100% Tragically Hip,
Right.
but I thought this feels so much like I'm in Kingston.
Yes. My wife, Carrie Jane McMaster, who's coming tomorrow. She's got an overnight shift tonight. She's doing her consolidation for nursing.
Yeah.
Then she's hopping on the train in Belleville, where she's at the Belleville General.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's coming over the 36-minute train ride along the St. Lawrence River to, I guess it's along Lake Ontario at that point. It's
Yeah.
down below the river, but to come over and be with us for a few days. And she's going to be helping out Brittany Cosson, who's
Oh, that's great.
yeah, she's going to be hanging out. But anyway, she played a gig at Musiki here in Kingston. Really enjoyed that. It's a cafe and whiskey bar, depending on the time
Oh,
of day.
cool.
Yeah. Canada gets possession here with an 11-1 lead. And Sam Neely, whose parents must have been big Cam Neely fans, to call him Sam.
Yeah.
You'd think, right? I mean, who isn't a big Cam Neely fan?
Yeah.
Of course, the rest of the crew is substantially younger than you are, Shandy. They may not know who Cam Neely is.
Yeah, that's a distinct possibility.
I'm looking at Shahab to see if there's a reaction. Yeah, he doesn't know who Cam Neely is. He knows who Connor McDavid is,
Yeah, Cam Neely's
There you go.
some executive in Boston now.
right? Myers looking far side, and there's a block, but he puts it back in. And Anthony Green played the far post second goalie role there. Bit of a tough break because it goes straight back to
Yeah,
Myers.
Myers gets that one. I think there's going to reach some point in this game where this is going to become difficult because, you know, Canada doesn't want to put up 44 goals, and they're on pace
Yeah.
for that right now. You know, it's
Yeah.
all about growing the game, but also, I mean, Canada's coming off a game they're not happy with, so they want to come out hard, but there's got to you got to think there's some point where they shut it down a bit, but it's really tough to do in lacrosse.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you want to use the 30, obviously. And for the Australians, it's all about growth, and it's been great. I mean, we've had guys like Xander Elkins a few years ago, really caught my attention. Orlando Kernigan, who's taken that pass right there, playing in Delta with the Islanders this summer in Junior B. I think has a future in this game. And
An Australian fellow you're talking about, right?
yeah, Orlando
Oh, good.
Kernigan, right there,
Oh,
number
Kernigan,
22.
he's been playing
Yeah.
this whole tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, he played last year, had a big tournament, named the All-Tournament Transition Player. Here's a chance. That's a big save by Dishon on Mahar Robbins. And again, you can't blame Cohen Mahar Robbins if he's trying to score. You have that chance. He hasn't scored in this tournament. He's never scored in the World Juniors.
Yep.
He wants a goal. Don't blame him at all. But it does get difficult because
Yeah.
you don't want to be disrespectful by running up
Yeah,
a score, but you also don't want to be disrespectful by not playing
I was
hard.
just going to say, I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been on the winning
Yeah.
teams. I've been on the losing teams, and I didn't like if it was on a losing team, the other team making it clear we're not even trying against
Yeah.
you. I don't like that.
No, not cool. Nice chance there, but turned aside by Lucas Dishon, who's dialing in a bit. That was Austin Sheen going for the hat trick. Aussie's setting up Kernigan.
You were just talking about him.
Alternate captain for this club, Jackson Close, the captain again. There's Eli Mortimer Underwood. Wasn't really looking for the pass, it looked like, after setting a pretty good B-sting pick.
Yeah, not about.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding the stick penalty after Cody Martin just kind of flung Mortimer Underwood's stick about 10 feet behind him. Did we catch that one?
No,
Okay, let's take a look.
I
Shane.
didn't see it.
Well, you will now. It's going to be. I don't think it's going to be hard to spot on the replay.
Okay, so
They're right
Mortimer
there.
Underwood is down low.
Just slipped out of frame. But he did. The stick wound up 15, 20 feet away from them. So Kernigan will go to the top of the power play. I'd be all for Austin Longstaff.
Have we seen Australia's power play yet this game? I don't think we have.
I don't think so. No. They're going to go strong left with Keaton Ellerson up at the top. Keaton Nicholson, sorry. That's Gutnick. We don't
That
see
play
them. Yeah.
doesn't work as well when you've got
On the strong
right
side.
shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more of a two-man game than the three-man game. We don't see the three lefties for the Aussies. They really only have two lefty forwards on the roster, Luke Spivey and Daniel Gutnick, because like many developing nations, there tend to not be a ton of lefties when you first get going.
There's no lefties in the world like there is in Canada.
No.
And I'd say hockey, lacrosse, even golf.
Yep. Here's Kernigan, flicks it back down to Spivey. He's taking a look, he's going to shoot. Stopped there by Ferguson, who makes sure to land down on it. I did a story for Inside Lacrosse magazine a few years ago about the lefties and why people shoot left. Oh, that's on the backside of the net. Mom goal, fooled me. And again, that's a guy who's going to try and score because that's Hayden Goldthorpe. He's a defender, doesn't get that many chances.
Gets a chance, wants to put it in. So what were you going to say about the
Oh,
lefties in your article?
yes, and there just aren't a lot of lefties elsewhere. No. Penalty coming, illegal substitution to Canada.
Yeah, my daughter went to a camp when she was 14 years old, went to a camp in Syracuse. And there was about 120 girls there, and I think there was only 5 lefties.
Steve Govett was telling me, he was at the time the president of the Colorado Mammoth, and his son Jake, who now plays for the San Diego Seals, as a young man growing up in the States, born in Canada, but growing up in the States, he said he'd go to camps where he'd be the only lefty.
Oh my gosh.
In the U.S. There are more now, obviously. The U.S. has some terrific lefties like Mac O'Keefe and Blaze Reardon and Brendan O'Neill, C.J. Kirst.
Luke McNamara.
Luke McNamara.
Luke McNamara,
who
that's right.
I think is joining the radar for future draft prospects. Here's Van Tassel breaking in alone off the post. Did Dishon get a bit of it, or was it just the post?
I think the post went straight off the post. I'm not positive though.
Jackson Close. I'll tell you, one thing that happens at these tournaments, you see some of these players who are so athletic, and you start to wonder where do they fit in future draft rankings for the NLL. And I have added Ben Posick to my future list.
Good.
Don't know where he's going to go, but he'll come out in 29. He's heading off to Marquette this fall. But yeah, the Americans are really taking advantage of this program to develop. I mean, we've seen guys like Ryan Colsey, who's going to be a top 5, top 10 pick.
Put some eyes on them too.
Yeah. They learn, they develop, and get to be seen. Martin racing back in to make it the 5-on-4.
Colsey's dad scored 50 goals in the NLL back in his day.
Only American, right?
Roy Colsey, yeah.
Well, underhand shot by Spivey, rolls out to Kernigan, who tracks it down before Strong can get there. Strong retreats. That's a nice lesson for young defenders, especially if any Aussies watching. See how Strong got some pressure, but got back into the box. I like that. Don't get caught chasing when you're shorthanded. And we have something going on. They're checking with Ferguson. Okay. All is well. Thank you, but I'm okay. Myers has it. Looked like he might be trying a hidden ball again. It worked earlier. He just missed the net. I always wonder, because guys seem to take some pretty long shots on the hidden ball. I always worry, like, boy, if I was taking that, I wouldn't want to miss the net. And I think I would. The guys usually put it in. Sheen off the foot of Lucas Dishon. You could hear how hard that banged off his toe cap, I believe. Fresh 30 for Canada, and they're back to even strength. Mahar Robbins was serving the illegal substitution call. He'll stay up for the offensive shift as Myers isolated on this side with 4 righties out there.
That's some pretty good defense.
It is.
Boy, that's going to be a play for Canada. Myers, I don't know if it's an elbow. Or who was that on Australia? I think it was number 21.
Yeah, that's Jackson Close, the captain.
Jackson Close was covering Myers really well. Myers decided to go one-on-one, isolated him a little, was isolated, but Close didn't give him anything. Is that a high stick call? Yeah, it looked to me like an elbow, but we're going to see. Oh, maybe it was the stick. I'm not sure.
And again, you were mentioning a play earlier, nothing vicious or malicious in intent, but definitely got up under Close's face.
A penalty.
Close is still kind of adjusting his face mask on the bench. He went off holding his chin. Grabbed there by Van Tassel. Outlet pass. Here's Cody Martin. He's got Dillerone with him, and I don't think Dillerone's going to shoot. No, he doesn't. He's not goal hungry because he's scored plenty, but he would have, I think, passed it back to Cody Martin if Martin kept going to the net. Canada's going to go into penalty kill mode, and it was a major.
Oh, really?
Yes, to Myers. So he's got another 4.5 to serve. That one almost snuck through from Neely. What a trio of goals that would have been if that had gone in. The one hand behind the back underhand, and then the dead overhand from the slot, and then the moon shot from downtown.
I'd love to see Kernigan get some shots. It was quiet last game.
That's into the feet, but scooped up there by Nicholson, but pressure from Goldthorpe. Longstaff there to get it. He's our player to watch after a great effort yesterday. Kernigan shoots just a little bit wide, comes straight out though to Nicholson. He'll let one go, big save. Colton Ferguson. Longstaff right in on top of the crease. Substantially larger than Canadian captain Scott Lardon, who's covering him, but Lardon standing his ground, Longstaff kind of backing him down, gets away from Spivey. They've got 18 to shoot, lots of time on the power play. Kernigan. Longstaff, you got that, rip it. It goes off the foot of Van Tassel.
Right idea, though. You got to shoot from that
spot. That one hit Goldthorpe from close range. Kernigan gets it back, one hand trying to emulate Neely as he was running out of time. And that's going to be Australian ball. It went off of a Canadian player. So it worked. I mean, it wasn't a goal, but it gets the ball back. And now Kernigan has the pass, the shot, and illegal substitution.
Too many men on the floor for
now,
Australia, I believe.
Yeah, but wasn't play stopped and being blown in? Oh, well. Because it's the official's duty, right, to make sure when play is being blown in. They must have done something on that change.
I don't know if they came in after the whistle went or not, but I just took a quick glance. And there were 6 there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is tough because
when you're on the power
play, none of them
play,
affected the play.
No, which is a really bad penalty to take. But also when you can let go, maybe. But Morton has it as we're 4-on-4. It's a lot of space. Morton steps in the middle. Pretty nice D sliding out there. It's a good job by Elliot Cornett. Materi slips by him, gets a shot addition with that stop. Here's Higgins. Somebody's got to be available. It'll be Spivey. Good job to go get himself open. Morton goes to pick him up. Morton's caught on D, but seems to be doing okay. He's going to go with Orlando Kernigan. Now he stops and stays with Longstaff. I don't mind Longstaff giving a go here to go one-on-one. Oh, the pass to Kernigan. Great chance, scores! You got your wish, Shanny. A shot from Orlando Kernigan. One shot, one goal. It's 12-2 with the power play 4-on-4 marker.
That was a 4-on-4 marker, yeah. That was a good play, just cutting in, getting that pass from, I think it was Spivey that passed it to him. Yeah, see, Kernigan comes up, throws his pick on his man so that he's closer to the net. Yeah, you see that Canada defense switches. Oh, that's a nice goal.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
Like you said, the up pick. seal and break down, and really well sealed. Gave him a chance to race down all alone down the slot. We're still 4-on-4 for another minute 11. So, of course, that goal doesn't count on the major. You can score twice on the major. But 4-on-4, it doesn't affect manpower. Jackson Close says, I got it, I'm ready to go, runs ahead. Again, third game in 3 days for the Aussies. They'll have tomorrow off and then play their semifinal. As it stands right now, Canada well ahead. If Canada wins this game, they will finish, well, they'll play Scotland tomorrow, and then they'll play them again on Thursday, which would make it interesting to see what the teams show tomorrow.
The U.S. has clinched first place, so.
They have 3-0.
So, yeah, regardless of who wins, assuming Canada.
Oh, Luke Spivey!
Oh,
takes what I guess was a pass from Anthony Green. I thought it was a shot that missed the net by 15 feet. It was a pass off the boards to Luke Spivey, who rips it home just before the buzzer.
Well, that's one thing that Spivey has shown us. He can score. That's goal number 7 in the tournament. Long distance. So 4-on-4, the Aussies score twice against Canada.
Right, another 36 seconds of 4-on-4. And of course, I'm kidding. That was a missed shot by Anthony Green. We've really liked the way he's played in this tournament. But that shot was not good. But he gets an assist for it, so it'll look nice on the box score.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's Morton going down. Nice save by Dishon. Ball loose in the corner. Snagged there by Materi. Fakes, he's thinking dunk.
Yeah.
You can read their mind when these guys get in the chance to give that a try. It was a good effort. He should have gone the other way. It's easier to go to your backhand, folks, if you're not familiar with the dunk attempt. If you go to your backhand side, you can really tuck it back in hard. Go in the forehand, you got to kind of reach around. You're almost better off going one hand. Spivey, hard shot, that's blocked, and did not feel great for Larden, but he's up. And now here's Goldthorpe on the run, takes the bad, drops it.
Bad change for Australia.
You can't keep playing. Mason Close, you can't keep playing. You've got to call illegal equipment. Just blow it down. It's illegal equipment.
Somebody tell him. Put your helmet on.
And Todd Wilfong's trying to help them out. Can't play. What is going on here?
That's where I think.
Don't get in front of the shot.
The referee's got to tell him. Put on your helmet.
I've never seen somebody play that long without a helmet.
And at this point, I think everybody's there like, we don't want you to get hurt.
Yeah.
We don't really care about the penalty. Don't get hurt.
Yeah. Alunyadeka Miracle with a nice play to the net. Now he's going to fight hard for the loose ball. All over Van Tassel, who's trying to fight through it. That's close to a hold. And now he's getting up in the face. Van Tassel's going to shove him off. We know Alunyadeka Miracle is a feisty youngster. That's a 10-second count.
That's
Australia's
good play by Australia to earn that 10-second count.
Australia on the power play for 24 seconds. Miracle, step back, shoot. Oh, nice play, but not a good shot right into the middle of that CLL logo.
It's getting rough.
Oh, yeah. Neither of these teams is backing down. Nicholson in front jousting with, I believe that was that Van Tassel who was getting into it with? Might have been Martin.
And not all these Australian players have the same outside shots as Spivey does.
No.
They're taking a few outside shots there that are missing the net.
So Canada's going to let this penalty expire. Myers will go ahead and join the fray. Neely thought about feeding Dillerone. Goes down low instead. Pass doesn't get through to Sheen, but he's going to pick it up on this loose ball. There was no possession, so the clock keeps ticking. It's down to 10 on the shot clock. Myers flicks it to Sheen. Nice move. Opens himself up. Misses. Oh, it's stopped by Dishon. It's going to be a penalty. An illegal cross check to Austin Longstaff. Not the worst penalty in the world to take.
No. Canada goes to the power play again. I think Canada's been perfect on their power play. And was that Sheen who took that? I mean, Sheen has been getting.
Yeah, Sheen got wide open. I think they called it a legal cross check. It was more of a calf roping.
That's not in the rule book, though.
No, but you can call it anything you like. Austin Longstaff just took him down. He's been a hard-working player. He'll take his 2 minutes or less of rest. I'm sure he'll get back out and keep working hard. Here is Materi up to Morden at the top of the power play. Tried to get it across to Mahar Robbins. It's swatted away.
Good stick. The first one. The swatting was not a good idea.
Didn't love it by Isaac Dishon.
No.
He can grab that one.
Like, I think it was Higgins made the nice swat
tip.
the first one, but the second one was not a good idea.
They're going to come up to Materi. He'll shoot that one. Misses. It's on the backside and it mesh, but rolls out into the crease. They're going to say Myers went through the crease to pick it up. He just stepped on the line, I think, as he was going across. Here's Jack Higgins.
Oh.
He's stripped, and Mahar Robbins has the ball. He went to give it to Morton, and Morton said, just run over there with it. Go to your position.
That was a nice play by Materi to cause that strip.
Yeah. He's having a strong game. He sat out yesterday. It's strange for these Canadian players to be sitting out, right? Because they haven't played on teams where they're not one of the best guys for the most part. Neely across to Dillerone. Pass to Myers. Quick stick is blocked. Neely trying another one. He was running out of time in a hurry. Had to really rush that. Misses the net. The 30 expires.
But that play from Dillerone to Myers, the one that we saw so many times yesterday.
Drinkall takes this one, steps across center line. 28 seconds left on the Aussie penalty. This is Anthony Green taking his time. It's about a 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock. They try to feed it through. It's picked off and off to the races is Hayden Goldthorpe.
That would have been a hard pass to get through.
Yes. Here's a break to the cutting sheen. Saved by Dishon. We got to see that one again when we get a chance as he spun and knocked it out with the stick.
Not just the save, it's a reaction on that ball that might be rolling into the net.
Goldthorpe, hard check on the forecheck. Ball still bouncing around, and Canada's going to get it back. Mason Myers will slow things down. Nearing the midway point of the second game on Canada Day. U.S. with a win over Scotland earlier, and there's a chance for the hat trick. Sheen can't convert. Another save by Lucas Dishon.
Dishon's played well.
Yeah, I imagine this is his last minute and a half of the day. I would think Luca Blues would come in. Look at this pressure.
It's going to go.
Morden and McLeod with all kinds of pressure. Nice job by the Aussies to get across in 10 seconds. Kamak takes that pass back, but it just gets away from him. Myers has a man up the floor, gets it to Carter Foot. Foot all alone. Stop, Lucas Dishon. Martin goes to pick it up. They're sending defenders off the bench as the first man. I like it.
Yeah, 4 nice saves.
Isaac Dishon just kind of fullback charged through the scrum of red shirts there, but lost the ball in the process. Pops too high, and Cody Martin has it. Cody Martin. Nice catch by Van Tassel. Reaching behind with one hand. He's got Dillerone off the bench. He'll hit him. Several fakes, puts it home. Alexander Dillerone.
I think I know if I'm Canada who takes a penalty shot if they get one.
No kidding.
Yeah, watch. Fake. And he's just so tall, too. He can reach over top the goalies. Once the goalie's starting to move around, he gets lower and he just reaches above him.
And we talked about Lucas Dishon staying on his goal line quite a bit. He actually stepped out there, which I get it.
Yeah.
But that just opens up for what Dillerone was looking for. I know as a big guy, if I'm ever in alone on the goalie, I'm just hoping he steps out.
Yeah.
Because then I can reach up and above and dunk it down. Yeah. If he stays back, I've got to try and pick a corner and be accurate, and that's not my forte. Here's Neely with 22 seconds left. A little more time on the game clock than shot clock, so they're not going to be able to wait for a final shot of the half. Canada leading 13-3. Nice stop. It goes straight back to Mahar Robbins. Bounces away from him as Jackson Close working hard after it. And Mason Close, the Close brothers closing ranks, trying to get that ball. Will they get it? Time's going to run out, but it's a great effort from Sam Neely. Now it's just becoming mundane. He's just doing that as a matter of course.
Well, don't look now, but that second quarter was 2-2.
Get out.
It was.
Wow. Well done, Australia. I mean, Canada's playing like they have a lead, obviously, but that's pretty cool. A 2-2 quarter for the Australians, who are all about growing. They want to develop, and they have brought a good group of young men up here. They have to travel so much to go and get chances to play. It's great that Canada goes down for the Commonwealth Cup in Melbourne during the
I'm sure
Canadian
even
winter.
at home they travel a ton.
They
to
do.
play
It's a big
lacrosse,
country.
yeah.
That will wrap it up for the first half. It's 13-3 Canada against Australia. We'll be back with more from the Slush Puppie Centre in Kingston, Ontario, Canada's first capital on Canada Day, here on Tragically Hip Way. We'll see you in about 12 minutes. No. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to Slush Puppie Center in Kingston, Ontario on Tragically Hip Way. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Shanahan. It's the 2025 IIJL World Juniors here in Kingston on Canada Day. What a half for Canada. What a second quarter, though, for the Aussies. And we're going to take a look at some highlights, Shanahan. Let's skip the first 10 goals and just get to the big one here that we all want to see again.
Yeah, we could show you a lot of beautiful goals, but not many as beautiful as this goal by Neely. Late in the shot clock. Oh, that's actually his underhand goal. That's not his prettiest one, but nice outside shot goal.
I have a single tear running down my face
Yeah,
because I want to see it
don't
again.
worry, we will get you that.
Okay.
We will make sure we see that at some point.
All right. There's Myers with a goal.
Yeah, Myers has had a pretty good day. They got a rebound, put that one in. And here's one of the goals. Yeah, that's the goal by Kernigan. Catches it in the center. I think that was actually a power play goal. Or no, that was when they were playing 4-on-4.
Oh, that's right.
So that was in the second quarter. It was 11-1 after the first quarter. Second quarter, 2-2. Aussies scored. They were leading actually 2-1 for most of that quarter. And I think Delaron scored another goal late in the quarter to make that, a 13-3. But if you look at that quarter alone, 2-2, I think that's pretty impressive for Australia. And a lot of it was because Deshawn made a lot of nice saves.
He did. He faced a lot of shots, tons of rubber on Lucas Dishon, and
Dishon, yes.
Yeah, Dishon. I that's on me because I called them Dijon for the first year they were here. The whole bunch of them. Chris, the dad, is here helping the team as always. Lucas and Isaac playing. They are loving this. We're just having a nice chat with some of the Australian fans who are here.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone who's watching back in Australia. We've had all hip all the time this week. I'm wondering, what's your favorite deep tragically hip cut?
New Orleans. Well, it's not deep.
That's not deep.
That's not deep. I'm not a deep cut guy. So you just ruined it for me. Put me on the spot.
What's your favorite song by the hip?
Not New Orleans is sinking.
Okay, there you go.
Yes. What's your favorite deep cut?
Well, see, we're near the St. Lawrence River. I'm going to go with Three Pistols because I did a French immersion program the summer after high school in Trois-Pistoles, Quebec, and Three Pistols is the English version.
Now you're just showing off.
I know. We're going to head back to the game here when we will have more. Oh, we already spun around, so you can see that I'm thinning a little bit. That's okay.
Yeah, you're losing weight? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I said. You know what? I absolutely love, who was it the other day when I met them? They said, hey, you've lost some weight, right? I was like, I really like you.
Whether I did or not, I like you.
There's the Aussies. They are back out. Canada, again, looking to be a bit fashionably late.
This time they should give Canada a penalty. If
they
should.
Should.
Give them. Well, they still got 40,
here they come. They're on their way.
They're on time.
Great second quarter for the Aussies. Thanks for being with us, lacrosse friends. Stick with us post-game as we will have the player of the game presentations. And it is, I'm just looking between the pipes, it's still Lucas Dishon, so he might be looking at 80 or 90 saves tonight if he keeps rolling the way he has been. A couple of them sensational. The spinning, knocking the ball away with his stick as it was about to roll in the net in that first half.
Yeah, there's no quitting him.
Colton Ferguson, who sat out Canada's first game, has come in, has stayed in for the second half for the Canadians. A couple Canadians still making their way out, and somebody was shutting the gate. Neil Pike was still making his way to the floor, the assistant coach. He barged his way through. You guys had a nice time reminiscing about playing against each other.
We actually played with each other a bit, against each other. And we were sharing some good war stories yesterday.
Those are his legs up there. He's the last guy to the bench.
Yep.
Doesn't even go in the first door. He's like, I will just take my time and get to the far
jog
bench.
a little bit, Mr.
Come
Pike.
on. Hustle it up.
Yeah.
Face-off win for Brodie McLeod. A little pressure there from Gutnecht, but they get it up to Morton, and Canada goes to the attack. They lead 13-3, but again, a 2-2 second quarter. Materi passes it off. They go behind him to Neely. Myers. He's going to shoot just a little bit wide. That's going to go back over, and it'll be Aussie possession. Drinkall thought for just a moment about chasing that one down and going for a transition chance, and then thought, third game in 3 days, that ball's going fast up the floor. I'll just get to the bench. Good decision. Here's a Lunyadeka miracle. Spivey cutting Kernigan. The second cutter is Miracle. That's good defense by Canada to be very aware. Kernigan's behind the net. Spivey going to shoot or try and make the pass. Now Kernigan comes out for the pass, but it's knocked away. That was Josh Morgan making the stop. Ooh, a little hand switch by Goldthorpe. Hidden Goldthorpe rumbles ahead, hits the cutter. Oh, big stop dishing on Cody McLeod's attempt. Illegal substitution call coming. No, it's an illegal cross-check call to number 4.
Aussie's Miracle.
Yeah. Lunadega Miracle.
And you mentioned in the last half, or
Yes.
especially second quarter, Canada's using different guys as the first one off the bench. You
Yeah.
usually expect De Laurent to be the guy coming off the bench, but they put defensive players a few times. That time they put Brody McLeod. It turned into a breakaway.
Yeah. I mean, McLeod is a forward. He just doesn't play a ton. He's a younger guy. But yeah, it was a good chance for him. Here's Merritt at the top as they say stay strong right on the power play. Longstaff is switching with close up at the top of the penalty kill.
And Deshaun has had a fantastic game shutting down that play. A play that Myers just scored a ton of goals against the U.S. and Dishon obviously did his homework and he's taken that one away.
Anthony Green battling back against James Larden, Scott Larden, the Canadian captain.
What I don't think Dishon has had as much success on is the outside shots by Neely. Neely seems to score whenever he takes a long shot. Neely's not on now.
However many hands he has on his stick.
Yep.
Morton passes it across. He's going to get it back. The underhand pass. Back to Myers. Quick pass. Sheen with the hat trick. We're starting to see what the junior B league he plays in has seen in the RMLL for years, and that is Austin Sheen burying.
Yeah. And I mentioned how he's not on the number 1 power play, but he's getting a chance here, and he makes the most of it as the ball goes back and forth and into his stick, and just a hard outside shot.
Not to obsess about the Neely shot, the one hand behind the back, but who did it remind you most of? And we've seen some great ones over the years.
Neely's?
Yeah.
Neely's goal? Yeah, I think, well, now that you mention it, obviously Fraser.
Yeah, Chase Fraser, that's true. I was thinking Curtis Dixon tends to go with that behind the back, low to low.
Yeah, when he's running
coming
across, yep.
Usually closer to the net.
You know, one of the first guys I saw do that was Darius Kilgore.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
John Grant Jr. had the famous one for Colorado on the run from distance with a defender on him.
Yep.
Bouncer, absolutely, to the far top corner. That one still, you watch it 100 times, it's still hard to fathom how he made that shot.
Yeah, Grant was
diving attempt by Green, and he went to the correct side, just couldn't quite finish it. Now he's going to get it back. Good job to run out of pressure and waits. Everything was going really well until he dropped that ball, and now Carter Foote's going to try and take off. Good hustle back by Elliot Cornett. I love the effort by Green, though, to get that shot off and then go and fight for that rebound. Here's Neely. Myers, that's a nifty little play. I don't know if we get a good shot of that one, maybe with the close-up, but those are some slick hands.
Yeah, he's got great hands. Didn't take me long to figure that out. He's very sure-handed.
He reminds me a bit of Corey Vitarelli, the way he can be right on top of the crease and still catch the ball and have time to do something that you just wouldn't think they'd have time to do. Although Vitarelli was usually getting rebounds because he just plant himself in there.
Yeah.
Myers just avoids stepping on the crease line, picks that up. It's a fresh 30 for Canada. He'll whip it across to Delarone. Dishon grabs it, and that's okay for the goalie. You can use your hand. What's the first thing you teach players though when they're starting lacrosse, Shanny?
Don't touch it with your hand.
There you go.
Unless you're a goalie named Dishon. No.
Well, any goalie.
Any goalie.
If you were watching the first game today, you know what we're talking about. That's a bit of an inside joke for the full-timers watching, joining us here at the IIJL World Juniors. Luke Spivey passed it across, tipped by Kernigan. Outlet pass. Spivey almost got a bit of it. Strong ahead. Oh, Brody McLeod is looking to get that first goal. He's got it.
His second breakaway probably in the last 3 minutes.
He's on the back door. Morton was looking, but Miracle, I think, was just kind of lurking, trying to bait him into that pass. Here comes McLeod now. He's going to shoot. Owen's blocked out front, almost grabbed by Harley Stevens. Good to see him back after he was banged up a little bit earlier.
He's having a hard time picking up that loose ball, batting it around a number of times.
Gutneck hands it off, and he
boy.
doesn't see that coming. Anthony Green had no idea that Goldthorpe was behind him.
Good hustle to get the ball back, though.
Oh, he's a worker.
Oh, there we go.
And he gets rewarded. And then the big pick on Carter Foote, who I don't think he saw that one coming. $15 still on the shot clock as Green flows it down low. And Green's going to go for a bit of a break. Driving to the net, Elliot Cornett, great take.
That was a nice effort. I think he stepped on the crease, but a nice effort to drive hard to take that ball to the net.
Yeah. Anthony Green from Adelaide, South Australia. Plays for Brighton Lacrosse. So many clubs represented. I usually go through at some point in the tournament and figure out how many different clubs and towns in Australia are represented.
Yeah. Well,
there are a ton. They put so much into this. Sam Neely will just let that one roll back for the over and back after chasing it down for a while. That ball's knocked loose, but tracking it down is Longstaff. Swats it across. Nice play to Spivey. Almost led to a breakaway for Morgan, but it gets to Spivey.
Yeah, I don't think from that angle you're putting that one in.
No. And Miracle with a bit of a shove on the player down on the floor.
What you're talking about, it's more difficult on your forehand side to do a dunk.
For sure. Drive to the net by Neely, tries to tuck one far side, stop by Dishon.
We're almost becoming casual about these saves that Dishon is making over and over again. You know, he's had one-on-one opportunities, and only one has beaten him so far, the power play goal by Sheen.
Here's a rip from the top by Green. He's going to go get back his own rebound, although it's off the defender, not the goalie, so no fresh 30. He's going to try going to the net, dives, didn't score, lands in the crease. And we've been talking about Harley Stevens a little bit, the defender for the Aussies, who's from Te Awamatu in New Zealand. Wait, here's a chance for Myers. What a quick release. He never even possessed that. He just tapped it.
No, he just batted it. Yeah, that was a nice play.
But there are actually two Kiwis on this team. Nathan Honeyfield, number 14, is also a Kiwi. He's out there right now playing defense. He's coming out to cover Mahar Robbins, and nice job getting on the hands there. Up to Neely. Late in the shot clock, we'll rip one, another save by Dishon. Now he's even getting the long stops. That sounds just the 30 at the other end, which didn't reset. But the one here is correct. There's another quick release by Mahar Robbins. Dishon with another save. He'll leave it there for Eli Mortimer Underwood. Nice outlet pass. Oh, a little too high. Pretty good idea, just too much for Drinkall.
Yeah. Would you say Dishon's faced probably 15 shots already in this quarter?
Probably, yeah. Oh, goal, Mahar Robbins. Cohen Mahar Robbins is excited about that one. He is on the board.
His first goal of the tournament, and he just uses speed on his man, goes hard to the net. And I think he recognizes that he's got a good matchup. Mortimer Underwood doesn't have the same speed he does, so he just races him to the net, but then it's also a good finish as he bounces it between the legs of Dishon.
Big battle off this draw. Kernigan comes away with it. He's going to let one rip. That's stopped. That not called back in. There's no intent from Larden. Dillerone picks it up right at center. Steps over and moves ahead. 6:07 to go here in the third quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Brian Shanahan. It's IIJL World Juniors on Canada Day. Morden wide open, big save Dishon.
It's another great save.
Higgins comes away with it. He's looking up the floor. He's got a man up ahead. Can he get it to Xander Kamak? Now Kamak's covered as Mason Close comes up with it. Miracle gonna pull it down, pull it out. Gets rammed into the boards by Van Tassel. Now there's 3 Canadians all around him in those sharp red jerseys. Spivey coming in to help. He's actually off the floor. He's about a foot off the floor.
Oh my gosh.
He's Spider-Manning up there, and he almost came out with the ball.
Almost squeezed through. Now, that was tough for him. There was no help. You know, Canadian defense recognized that there was no Aussies around there, and there were still 10 seconds left in the shot clock when he went to the boards. Hidden ball trick here.
Spivey went and tried to help, but he just couldn't get through all those big Canadian defenders.
But you want to help when he has a chance to pass.
Yes, not when he's already pinned.
Spivey. It's the rest of his team that sort of took off.
Oh, Mahar Robbins looking for 2 in a row as he goes for that backdoor quick stick. Just missed. It's going to be picked up by Jackson Close on the run. He's going to put his shoulder down and shoot. Big stop, and then the help by 12s. Almost one for Jackson Close.
Good effort by Close.
Took a bit of a bump and then almost wound up launching into the boards. Mahar Robbins gets it. Flings it ahead. Does connect with Brody Strong. He's got Myers on the back door. Just misses on the pass.
Yeah, that
knocked away by Drinkall.
That play was there. I don't think Longstaff knew that Myers was wide open on the other side.
Longstaff thought about just handing it off to Gutneck. Decides to run over and find Green coming off the bench instead.
The Canada's defense is still playing tough.
Kernigan tries the one-hander as his other one was pretty tied up trying to protect himself. Here's Foote on the run. Passes it ahead. It's going to come back to,
Oh, it was the right play. Just
right
not
play, just not a
executed
good
well.
pass. I like that decision by Brody McLeod. Doesn't Foote kind of remind you of Alexander Dillerone?
I'm going to have to look at him.
That was him just running up. He's the 81 and Dillerone is 61. They're both pretty big dudes, both righties. And Dillerone does go back in defense once in a while, so occasionally I'm like, oh, Dillerone's back on D again. Nope, it's Foote. What a run, what a goal. Cody Martin fighting off checkers and rips one home. The defender is on the board.
Yeah, really nice shot by Martin. Semi-breakaway and takes that hard shot. You know, you got a man right on. You don't have time to make any fakes. There's another man coming at you, and he just drills this shot to the right side of the net.
That's pretty nice. 16-3, Canada's gone up. 3:20 to go here in the third. That ball stays in play, hitting just near the top of the Australian bench. Longstaff going after it, tries to tip it through the legs of Morden. That would have been sensational if he'd been able to come up with it, and he was going to be all alone, but Morden, good job acquiring possession up into the offensive zone. Strong sprints off. I like to see that Strong and Goldthorpe both running hard to the bench, even up by 13 in the third quarter. The coaching message has gotten through.
Oh, yeah.
We need to play the right way tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, the last thing Canada wants are any sloppy habits.
That one's blocked by Higgins.
And they haven't displayed any sloppy habits this game. They've been good. As I said a few minutes ago, their defense is still playing tough like it's a one-goal game.
Neely makes the steal. Flips it near side to Dillerone. There's Dillerone, and we saw Carter Foote a little while ago. 61-81, you seeing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Neely feeds it through to Myers. What a connection those two are. To Sheen this time. He's got 3. The shot clock expired at one end. There were still 3 seconds on the other. That does happen occasionally. Kernigan is up the floor. Penalty coming. I didn't see that. Did you see what happened? Because it's
No, behind
Nicholson
the play.
going.
I was basically looking at one of the Australians had come off the bench, was wide open up the floor for
That was
a breakaway.
Kernigan.
Well, that's Keaton Nicholson got this penalty. Let's watch number 13. I think he's bottom left. It's after the play. That can't be that one, was it?
I think it was the first one, the slash more than the cross check. Yeah, so it was, yeah. Confirming that was the hand went up on the slash. Just unnecessary, but it's a frustration penalty, I'm sure. Aussies should be feeling pretty good about a lot of the things they're doing. Morton's hard rip is blocked. Sheen gets it back. Now Mahar Robbins, oh, he's robbed by Dishon. What a save, Lucas Dishon. We'll be announcing the players of the game for each team after the game. I don't think Dishon will get it because he's already got one, but my goodness, maybe he should get it again.
Well, I was going to ask you if he had got one because he'd be my vote for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's been sensational here. Still moving so well. He's going to appreciate the day off tomorrow more than anybody. That one was his skinny yellow friend making that save. Oh, that was...
What's that?
That was almost over and back. That was a little perilous. Backdoor quick stick. Nice try by Materi. Doesn't quite connect. Up top to Morton. Rips it, saved by Dishon. That was one of the easiest ones he's had to make. Jackson closes up the floor. Go ahead, give it a rip. Almost, but Sheen backtracks and steals it. Long pass. He's gonna run onto his own pass, scores! Takes a big hit. He's gonna be okay as he gets his 4th goal. Penalty coming now.
Yeah, penalty after that.
That was not intended to be a self-pass, but it turned into a pretty cool one.
No, absolutely. He was trying to make a pass off the backboards to himself. And then he just whips a hard shot. So he gets his 4th goal of the game. And I believe that's his 2nd power play goal.
So Austin Sheen with 4, again 2 on the man advantage. 35 seconds to go in the 3rd. Go ahead.
And then after the play, the Aussies take another penalty. So not helping their cause. And Canada is not putting their top 5 guys in the power play. The only one, Myers was on that power play, but I think he's the only one who's on their top power play who was on.
Right, Neely is back. Longstaff with a shot saved by Ferguson. And Longstaff's going to get it back.
He hustles hard, Longstaff.
He does.
I don't think he cares what the score is. He works just as hard.
Tries the dunk from behind, but that would not have counted.
I don't even know if that was a dunk. He was just trying to shoot.
He's trying to bounce it off the back. You can't do that, by the way. The head of the stick has to be ahead of the goal line when the shot is released for a goal to count, so it wouldn't have been a good goal anyway. Neely, underhand, stop by Dishon. And we're through 3/4 of play. Don't go anywhere because we've got a special day to talk about for one of the all-time greats. A big lacrosse fan, but more of a hockey guy. And announcing his retirement today, we're going to take a look at in a second. Is it 17-3 for Canada over the Australians? And it was today. Bob McKenzie, who I said, "Hey, Bob McKenzie retired." You said, "I thought he retired years ago." 5 years ago, he went into semi-retirement, and today officially announcing his full retirement. And McKenzie, noted draft analyst and announcer at the World Juniors for hockey. We're talking Christmas in July here because it's like the World Juniors of Hockey starting on Boxing Day. Here we are on Canada Day, our Christmas in July segment. And Bob McKenzie, huge lacrosse fan.
Oh, absolutely. I remember, well, every chance he would get. Like, he used to be a sports writer for the Toronto Star many years ago, writing about hockey, of course. But every once in a while he says, well, I'm writing a lacrosse article because I love lacrosse. I remember him showing up to Man Cup games in Brampton, Six Nations, whatever. Yeah, he was a great guy promoting lacrosse. Of course, he grew up, or didn't grow up. He raised his family in Whitby. His kids all played lacrosse.
Yep. One of the greats. I've had a few times people have said that I'm like the Bob McKenzie of lacrosse in terms of draft analyst.
That's a
that is a
compliment.
massive compliment. I don't know if it's deserved, but it's.
I think I said that.
Oh, maybe that was you.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was,
you know what? That probably
that was during the draft when I said, yeah, you're the Bob McKenzie. That's what Bob McKenzie used to do with the NHL draft. He was the analyst. And I said, yeah, Stamper, you're the Bob McKenzie of the NLL draft.
I knew it was a very wise person.
That's right.
I
think I said the first time I might have even said it was, why are you not working the draft? It was one of the drafts you weren't working. I go, why do they not have the Bob McKenzie of the draft working? Because not a lot of guys do the homework that you do heading into the National Lacrosse League draft.
It's funny when it turns out you're the person. The story you were telling us last night was great. We have 30 seconds. You want to tell it quickly, or can you?
Which one?
About Don Cherry.
Oh, Don Cherry, yes. I met Don Cherry once at a hockey rink. Asked him if he would get involved in where the kid I used to coach in lacrosse was running a charity lacrosse tournament. And Don says, no, I don't have time and doing too much. He goes, but lacrosse, that's a great game. I go, yeah. He goes, do you know Brendan Shannon played lacrosse? And I go, yeah, I do. And he goes, and do you know his brother Brian? He was a great lacrosse player. And luckily at that point, my friend said, this is Brian.
That's him. Cody Merritt with the shot.
And I'll give Don Cherry credit because he laughed at himself, And we had met a number of times, but when he meets a million people.
Oh, my goodness. Everybody wants to meet him.
I said, hi,
right?
it's Brian Shannon. Yeah, hi, Brian. Yeah. Hi, whatever. He meets so many people.
You have to do that. You know who that reminds me is Dana Doby, one of the great ambassadors for the game, the captain of Canada's women's team, or team for the first ever World Lacrosse Women's Box Championship. And she always says, what is it she calls me? I think she calls a lot of people this because she's so nice.
Buddy? She calls you buddy?
No, it's not buddy. It's I forget what it is, but she's like, she knows who you are, but she meets so many people. Everyone wants a bit of her time, and she's happy to give it. But she's just like, hey, I forget what, but she is awesome, and it's pretty funny when you can see how much. And you know what? I talked to her right after the gold medal game when the U.S. won that one 10-7, and she had to take a moment to compose herself.
Oh, I guess so.
And then, professional as always, talked about the growth of the game. It's awesome to see the women's game growing. We had the first ever IIJL World Women's Juniors last year in East Aurora. I think it's going to come back. It didn't quite happen this year, but I think the Women's World Juniors is coming back, and that is going to be awesome. Goal from Luke Spivey. Again from downtown. Again late in the shot clock. And Colton Ferguson will be having Luke Spivey nightmares.
Well, Spivey, we've said it again and again. The guy can shoot. More than anybody on this Australian team, this guy's got a scoring touch and can, make goals out of nothing opportunities.
And you see that from downtown and you think, oh, he's just firing it on net to try and get a reset. But that was a sidearm shot around a defender, using him as a screen. That was actually a really good shot. I assumed it was lucky at first. Oh, big defense there. What a play by Jack Wiley. Strong is hurt. Hate to see Strong hurt.
Yeah.
He is grabbing his leg. Jimmy the trainer is out in a hurry. Speaking of all-time beauties, Jimmy put so much into this game. And he is out there. He is helping all the teams in this tournament.
Yeah, we saw it earlier. I thought he ran out. I think it was one of the games Canada wasn't involved in that he came out.
He helps with everybody. He's the trainer for everyone, basically. He is awesome. And we're going to take another peek to see what happened. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the hit. I'm not sure what happened.
I see a couple of boys slipping. Yeah, that's
you know what? Maybe there's a collision. If we can run it again, maybe the feet got tied up or something, because you can see it's before he goes down.
I couldn't tell from that.
But look, he lifts his foot before he goes down. Does Brody Strong. See how he's holding it up as he falls?
Yeah,
something happened before he went down.
I'm hoping. Oh boy.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
He's not putting weight on it.
Yeah.
Big hand for him as he goes off, but boy, that is a terrible feeling. I think most of us who have done sports all our lives have been through that. It's helpless. And you always feel like you've let your team down somehow. And you have not, Brody Strong.
No, not at
I
all.
hope you don't think you have. But
not at all.
I know that feeling of like, oh, guys, I'm so sorry. And they're like, what are you talking about? Love to see Goldthorpe helping him off the floor along with Jimmy. And Scott Larden, the captain, is carrying his helmet.
Yeah, that's tough.
They'll give the floor a wipe, and Larden and Goldthorpe are going with him. They're going to take some time and just tend to their wounded teammate. Hard rip by Neely. His block comes right back to him. Tapped ahead, Longstaff. Can he do it again? He is looking to get that ball. He gets it. He's going to pull up and cut around Neely. No, he's going to go into, oh, it's just stripped. I love the thought process. He was going to pull up, go around. Neely slowed down as well, so he started to drive again.
Yeah,
he just lost the ball.
It's harder for him to do the shoulder bump from that side because that's his stick side.
Yeah, you can't protect the ball. Cornett backs off. Hits Kernigan. Orlando Kernigan, the Delta Islander, passes it to Carter Foote. That was strange. I guess it was a shot. Neely is going to feed it through to Myers, who ping-pongs it around a little bit, comes out to Neely. He'll back up behind the back. Mahar Robbins, big save by Lucas Dishon. That one gets away from the Australians. Here's Martin. He has not been bedazzled by the thrill of scoring. He got a nice goal earlier, but he'll go back and hand the ball off to the forwards and go to his defensive role. Materi passes it down to Myers. Takes a shot. It was getting late in the shot clock. Green will hand it off to Gutnecht. Orlando Kernigan wants it. He gets it up top. Quickly moves it on. Here's Miracle. Belunya Deca Miracle. Nice move. Eagle pick coming. We're going to have a stoppage.
Oh, it's just to let the two guys back on.
So I was streaming a game recently for the Grand River Warriors in the Can-Am Senior B League. Their season opener, home opener at the ILA and Six Nations. Now playing in Brantford. First game though, and Newtown got there. Their goalie didn't get across the border. Here's a dunk attempt. It's good. Mason Myers. That's the way to do it. Go to the backhand, and that's a pretty goal.
Myers, one of many Canadians having a good game. I think that's his fourth goal of the game. And yeah, this is executed real well. As you said, backhand, fake the forehand, go to the backhand. I've got here Myers got, I think, 4 goals, 5 assists. Neely's got 3 and 3. DeLaurent 2 and 2. Sheen 4 goals.
Long pass. That was Delaron this time. See, they're confusing me. Now I'm thinking it's Foote back there.
Yeah, that's right.
So the Newtown didn't have a goalie. The goalie didn't get across the border. So they're trying to figure out, first they had to find some gear. Here's a shot from the outside. Nice save again, Dishon. And they had to find gear. They got it from the Warriors' third goalie, I think. And then they had to figure out who's going to put it on. One of the defenders put it on. So they were late coming out. Here's a shot. Another save by Dishon. Dilleron thinking about trying to come around and do something dunky. Hands it off there to Brody McLeod.
That floor's got to be slippery. There's a lot of body sweat.
Yeah, there have been people hitting the floor.
Guys going down, yeah.
Sheen with another rip. Materi, as there's 14 left on the shot clock. Oh, there it is, Brody McLeod. He's been looking for that one. He gets it, and the guys will be very happy for him to have his first goal.
Yeah, he's got to be happy with that. He's probably had 3 breakaways this half alone, and just nice, smooth outside shot. Goes to the short side, top corner, I believe.
Yeah, that's Tyler Sebastian looking near post.
Yeah.
So they didn't have a goalie. They just start with, because the refs were like, we have to go. So they start with 6 runners on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
They win the face-off, kill about 30 seconds. Grand River goes down, scores on the defender trying to play net. They win another face-off, they go down, and the goalie's ready, and I'm thinking, how's he going to get in? Because he's off to the right behind the boards. He just opens the door and walks in during play. I remember thinking, that's got to be too many players. It has to be. They let him get away with it. I think that was fair. He was just like, I'm going. Diving attempt by Miracle. And he's saying, please invoke the it's too pretty to wave it off clause.
Or the 19-4 clause.
Right?
Give me that one.
Olunyadega Miracle, again, he pulled me over during warm-up to say, hey, just wanted to let you know you're calling me by my brother's name, which is the one I had. So he is not adding to his legacy, he is creating his own. Myers came up with that one almost, never really got a handle on it, and Neely's going to run out of time in the 30. He shoots because it was the shot clocks were just slightly out of sync.
Yeah.
That is really heads-up play by Neely.
He's apologizing because, he saw that.
I don't think it was a 30-second violation, though. I think the other one didn't reset when they did. Sometimes the resets are quick because there's a shot, so you reset it, and then somebody picks it up. And there was still a second on the 30 when he shot that, so he doesn't need to apologize. But it sounded bad.
Yeah. And, say, play the whistle, not the buzzer.
Exactly. Canada taking their time in the offensive zone. Sheen will circle around. He's going to let that rip. Blocked out front by Isaac Dishon, who takes one for his brother. And Lucas is coming out saying, hey, can we stop the play here? And they're going to blow it down. And Lucas Dishon was just walking out to check on his brother. Chris is going to be concerned on the bench. Yeah, he's going to hop on the floor and go see how Isaac is.
Yeah, it looks like he took it in the back of the neck.
Yeah. Take care of yourself. But he is.
To see him running off.
Yeah. Tough as nails, these Dishons. Connor Materi passes it across. Fresh 30 for Canada. A real tussle there. Materi lost his stick in a wrestling match with Cornette. Now the Aussies lob it ahead. Drinkall's racing onto it, but I think Goldthorpe's going to beat him to it. Slows down. I thought we had a huge collision coming. They both kind of pulled up.
Goldthorpe played it well. He just made sure Drinkall wasn't able to pick it up.
I think he saw that he had Ajin Van Tassel with him.
He did.
Here's Neely. Pass through the middle. Nice pass, nice catch by Morton, but it's tipped on the way through to Dishon. Neely taking his time. Morton will rip that one and go get a fresh 30 if he picks this up. He does. Past the midway point of the fourth quarter. Neely, is he thinking about the dunk? He is not. He's thinking about the feed. Nice one out to Myers, who is always ready to shoot. Behind the back pass, Morton caught it but couldn't hang on. McLeod, he's got the taste for goals. He's going to flip this one over to Mahar Robbins, who also has a goal in this game for Canada. 3 on the shot clock. You can hear the pounding on the bench by the Australians as they kill that 30 and will head up the floor. Austin Longstaff wants the ball. He's going to wait up for the rest of the offense to come join him. And he'll go for a change. Penalty coming to Canada. It's going to be a roughing call on, it's Australia.
Miracle.
Oh, yeah. Olunyadega Miracle is going to get an unsportsmanlike as well.
Extra. Yeah, I think the referees have made it clear in both of these games that they don't want any talking back. Let's Yeah, it really wasn't much. I could see him being frustrated, but yeah, you got to respect the refs.
Remember when you were a kid, and I'm sure you and Brendan would get into it sometimes wrestling, and your parents would say, "What happened?" And you say, "It all started when he hit me back." I think that was that one. Myers shoots, scores. Told you he's always ready to shoot. Chucks it near side. Past Lucas Dishon.
Nice goal. Myers, I don't know if that's his, that's his 5th now, I believe. I'm losing track, but he doesn't have a lot of room here. Look at, he sees that couple inches in that top corner, and he puts it in there. That's a nice shot.
Mason Myers from Bothwell, Ontario, playing with the Six Nations Fire in the First Nations Junior B Lacrosse League. And that is an up-and-coming team. They're a fairly new team, coached by, do you know who coaches them?
No.
Johnny and Marshall Palace.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Johnny Palace playing again this year with the Grand River Warriors. He's out at the moment. But, great to see Johnny back on the floor. Boy, he is still has the vision and the hands.
He's still pretty young, too, is he?
Yeah, he just hasn't been playing for a while, right?
Yeah, but one of these guys, when these guys start playing professional lacrosse at 18,
well,
you forget they're 27 and you think they've
been around
retired.
Forever.
Yeah.
Johnny Palace had 3 NLL Cup championships by the time he turned, 22? 23, something like that? Early on in his career.
And he was on, didn't he win a Minto and a Man Cup, I think, even in the same year?
He may have. Hard rip from McLeod. Dishon just swallows that one up. Jackson Close will run out of traffic, hand it off there. Nice awareness by Anthony Green. And again, the Canadian D still working hard. Jason Feiss. Dunk attempt. Nice try by Anthony Green.
I could see the Canadian coaches, encouraging the offense to lay up a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you
Not the
don't
D.
You don't want your D. You want your D doing everything right, getting in all the right habits.
Cody Merritt will fire one. Drops the head of the stick, goes sidearm. Puts it home.
Bit of a mix-up by Australia. They were short-handed there, but they never got set up in their box. And Merritt just realizes, oh my gosh, look how much room they don't get to shoot that hard from there in their practice. Oh my God. And look at Jack Higgins still trying to play goaltender. Good for him.
I would say he has almost as many saves as Dishon, but it's not even close. Dishon has turned
no.
aside a lot of rubber. He's given up 21, but man. There's a chance for Myers to pass it across to Dillerone on the far side. Morton comes out. Stop! Yes, by Dishon. Just rolls wide. Scooped up there by Isaac Dishon. The pass isn't going to connect. Neely does pass it over to Sheen. Back to Neely on the give and go. Reaches far side. Nice save, Dishon.
When we tell people after this game that the final score was like 21-4 or something like that, and the Australia goalie was one of the best players on the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
We're back tomorrow with one game on day 4 of the 2025 IIJL World Juniors. That will feature Canada and Scotland in what is going to be basically a game meaningless to the round robin standings, but a preview of the second semifinal, which will be played Thursday night. Here's a chance for Sheen, stopped by Dishon again, or the first semifinal, as Thursday at 5 p.m. we'll have the semifinal number 1, the third and second place teams at 5 p.m. At 8 p.m., first and fourth from the round robin standings. Then Friday, the championship day, bronze medal game at 5 p.m., 8 p.m., the championship will be awarded.
And
Go ahead.
we've been impressed by the outside shooting of Spivey in this game.
We have.
If you think he's a good shooter, wait till Canada sees maybe tomorrow.
Luke McNamara.
Austin Maybe scored 6
Oh, Austin
goals.
Maybe. Yes, of course, Scotland. Yeah, he can rip it.
Yep.
Good work by Longstaff. Hands it off to Kernaghan. Has been a bit of a quiet tournament for Kernaghan.
Yeah.
Again, he was nicked up a little bit playing with the Islanders in Delta.
No, but I think we came in thinking he would, be their scoring leader, and really it's been Spivey's been the most consistent guy offensively for Australia, scoring, at least a couple goals every game.
Myers will lob it across to Delarone. Comes to Neely. Myers is directing traffic with his head. Delarone back to him. They've hit the cutter on the back door. Goal, Cody Merritt.
That was a nice goal. That's good ball movement, forcing the goalie to go east and west. Cody Merritt scores his hat-trick goal. And really, like, all their big guns on the floor here, they're just good ball movement back and forth, and so tough for Dishon. I love when you make those good, hard east-west passes back and forth multiple times. Sooner or later, the goalie can't keep up.
Do you find you really get to know these players as the tournament goes on? It reminds me of the
absolutely
right. It reminds me of the World Juniors in hockey, which is the Christmas tradition, where as it goes, you get to know these guys and really feel like you know them. And here we are getting used to these players for Canada and the other nations in our Christmas in July IIJL World Juniors on Canada Day from Kingston, Ontario.
No, I absolutely feel that in this tournament. Like, I come into this tournament really not knowing any of these players, and after a few days, you feel like you know just about every guy and the habits of these guys and how this guy likes to shoot, where he likes to go.
Nice save there by Colton Ferguson, who's had to play the mental game to stay sharp and not a ton of shots against. Fantastic pass ahead to Twalls. Oscar Twalls almost had one. Almost had one. He'll head to the bench.
Good jets by 12s.
And of course, the Hockey World Juniors is a tradition on TSN, and we had the good fortune to bring lacrosse back to TSN after the COVID pandemic. We were the first lacrosse on TSN on the television. That was a blast to do those games. It's quite a tradition. 10 years of World Juniors.
It's been that long, eh?
2015.
I don't know what year it was. The first one I did with you was Mississauga.
2019, I think.
That was a lot of fun.
Was it Mississauga? Yeah. Some great players in that one.
Yeah.
Maybe some who will turn up on. We're going to tease that there will be tomorrow. We're going to take a look at an all-CLL all-time team from the World Juniors. Kernaghan shoots, fires, misses.
Well, one player might be on that. I just got a text today from John Pilcher.
Looking for a dunk attempt.
John Pilcher saying, Happy Canada Day. And I told him where I am. I said, I remember doing that with your son, Luke.
Yeah, playing for Israel.
He was one of the better players in that tournament.
And he was dealing with a bit of an injury and was still fantastic.
Yeah.
Now he's playing for the Las Vegas Desert Dogs.
He's playing in Nanaimo with my son this summer.
Goal from Cole Mahar-Robbins. Cohen Mahar-Robbins.
Mahar-Robbins gets his second of the game.
Nice job. Nice job. Sees the space, a little bouncer far side. And yeah, Luke Pilcher, a marvelously talented lefty forward.
He had slick hands. I remember that.
As a rookie, I believe he was Rookie of the Year in the Arena Lacrosse League, or he was the Transition Player of the Year as a rookie. But he was playing transition with the Whitby Steelhawks.
Oh yeah, because he had a very nice finish in that World Junior tournament. Israel had a pretty good team.
They did.
Brendan Lundy, he was another guy on that team.
Oh my goodness, He was something. big lefty.
Yeah,
Forward, very skilled.
What's his name? Thistlethwaite on.
Thistlethwaite, Adam Thistlethwaite,
Yeah, that's
who's
right,
going to go in the NLL draft this year,
Yeah.
maybe a first rounder. He's very good with the
Mitch
Detroit
Ogilvy.
Lakers. Mitch Ogilvy, who
Yeah, there's a number
an
of guys
all-time beauty
in this tournament who will play some NLL.
Yep. Timeout for Australia. They're going to set something up with about 19 seconds left. But yeah, there are some names you're going to recognize. We could drop some initials as a hint, but we'll save it. We'll save it. But yeah, I think at least a player or two from that 2019 team that we did are going to be there on that team.
Oh, this is your all-time list?
Yeah, so Chris Fox, the president of the IIJL and the CLL, tweeted it out, hey, it's 10 years of IIJL World Juniors. It started out as the World Challenge and became the World Juniors, and it's gone through a few changes, but it's been going for a decade, and with, of course, the 1 year missed for COVID.
Yep.
And he was saying, hey, this is a fun idea. Stamplex, who is your all-time CLL 10-player team? So he put it out with the positions. And I actually did a all-time tournament team, included like Jakub Vimala from the Czech Republic and some different guys. But Ryan Colsey was on that team, and he said, that's a good team, but I was thinking CLL. So I put that team together. We're going to share that tomorrow. We have it, the graphics getting drawn up. And
so you don't want me to ruin it by throwing out any more names right now?
Throw some names out. Go ahead.
Well, I know Jeff Teat didn't play in one of the ones I did, but he did play.
Oh, he did play.
Well, there's a superstar right there.
So there's a superstar. I mean, one of the best players on the planet.
Guys, yeah.
Is he on that team? So I will, maybe a little teaser. I was not at the first two.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of went more with guys that I saw, but I mean, Teat obviously was great. He's always been great. I did go with at least one guy who was on a tournament that I didn't see. Kernigan flips it through the middle. Doesn't quite connect with Green. They've got 6 seconds, 5 left. Shot clock expires, and Longstaff will leave it, and time will tick away. The empty net attempt. It goes in by Cody Martin, and he half-heartedly complains that it should have been a goal. He knows it was. It was a nice shot, though. He has a big smile on his face. Final score 23-4. Stick with us for the player of the game presentations, and we will hear the Canadian national anthem. The USA will finish in first place in round-robin play. They're 3-0. Australia will finish 4th. They're 0-3. They'll play in the semifinal, the second semifinal on Thursday at 8 p.m. The first semifinal will be Thursday at 5. That's going to be between Canada and Scotland. But those two are going to get a chance to get angry with each other tomorrow.
That's right.
When they build up a little hatred in the final round-robin game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Make sure you join us for that one. It should be good. The Australians gather together, have a little chat, and then they're going to go shake hands.
Well, obviously the Australians were outmatched by Canada, but I like the way this team has played hard every single game.
Should we tease another little bit about the team? A couple of guys that aren't on the team.
Sure.
Who are Sam LeClaire didn't make the team. He's an NLL player with
the
Philadelphia
Rock this summer.
The Oakville Rock this summer, playing with Philadelphia in the NLL, I believe. And
he scored about 16 goals in the NLL this last season.
Oh yeah, he's good, and he had a great tournament. He was actually playing with Seth Van Scheppen and Austin Hazen.
Wasn't
with
he
that team?
I thought he was in the one in Mississauga.
He was.
Yep.
He was really good. And there's a bunch of other really good players who are not going to make that team because there's so much talent over the years.
That is impressive.
Rick Benedurks, the Australian manager, is handing out Aussie pins to his team to pass to the Canadian players. He walks around with a bag of Aussie pins. I'm going to have a few Aussie shirts to give away that Rick gave me that don't fit me, but I've got some of them from last year. So if you'd like one, come and talk to us. We'd love to chat lacrosse. You can get yourself an Aussie jersey. Or no, it's not a jersey. There's shirts from the Aussie Tour last year when the Aussie women played in the first ever IIJL Women's World Juniors. And, of course, the Aussies were there for the U16s, U18s. Were they? No, they weren't. It was just the women. That was in East Aurora, a very cool rink. And Luke Spivey, the player of the game for the Australians. What was his final tally there, Shane?
3 goals, 1 assist.
Pretty good. Pretty sensational shots.
Pretty good, and 4 goals scored in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. For Canada, also number 23, it is Sam Neely.
you know,
And we've got that queued up, obviously, the goal to watch, right? The underhand? Yeah, okay. We're going to see that in a second. I'd be very sad if we didn't get to see it again.
I mean, you could probably pick up about 4 or 5 guys from Canada, but well deserved by Neely.
Yeah, and fun game again. The Aussies, they're looking to develop. They're loving having a full bench here. We are going to rise for O Canada on Canada Day. Shani, we are through 3 days of the 2025 IIJL World Juniors. It's always so much fun to see these players out there working and having a good time and doing some pretty sensational things. We have one more day of round-robin play. It'll be Canada and Scotland tomorrow at 8 p.m. And then semis Thursday, 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. 5 is 3 versus 2. 8 is 1 versus 4. And Friday, bronze medal game at 5, gold medal game at 8 p.m. That will do it for today, but make sure you join us for more excitement over the next 3 days still to come of the 2025 IIJL World Juniors here in Kingston.